Hello and welcome to this very first YouTube video on my new YouTube channel by Benjamin Weber. I'm Benjamin Weber, and yeah, all about this video and the future videos will be about is like Microsoft Excel esports, solving different cases because there's so many different YouTube channels already at the moment, so that I've decided, yeah, I probably have to start my very own channel and talk to you about different videos. I will probably not have the same amount of videos up like different people like Julian Portal, like Dim Early, like Lorenzo, and so on. I will put a few of the names that I know down in the video description, so that you can also look at those people, because of course most of the people that are watching this are doing videos on their own or already know most of them, but nonetheless I will put a few videos, a few channels down there. Just a bit to myself: my name is Benjamin Weber. I am from Austria, so please do not expect like the best English. English is not my native language, but I hope it's fine. And since the English Excel community is so international, I think it's more or less necessary to do these type of videos in English and not in German. Maybe in the future there will be also some German videos where I will be talking a bit better. So let's jump into the case, because then I will talk also a bit about myself again, because this is like the final case of the Microsoft Excel Collegiate Challenge 2024, at least to my knowledge. As of December 29th, there's no YouTube video about this case out there, which was the final case by David Brown, subscription Sleuth. And there's of course a special case to myself, because I've won this round, this competition. I have the winner trophy right here. I have been first place in this year Microsoft Excel Collegiate Challenge, which is like the World Championship, but just for students. I have already done this case before, obviously, when I've won the competition, but I've also looked at the case afterwards like 2 times, but both times not a full solve, so I don't know yet how long a full solve would take me, but I will just do this case and talk a bit what I've done on the day, what I could have done better. And yeah, let's jump right into. Is there anything else I want to mention? Yeah, I have all of my lambdas right here, if you are interested, or I think to most of the competitors I have already shared them, but I think someday in the future I might share all of them. Just a short thing: my lambdas are like German and English combined, so there are some lambdas that have like only German names and only English names and no German names, but there are also some like Anzahlzeichen, means like amount of characters, which is like how often does a character appear in an entire string. So yeah, and I also have like a robot here installed with just the base robot commands, robot commands, but no future commands. I don't know yet if I will use this for this solve. So yeah, let's jump right into it. I will not have a timer, but I will do the case, starting with like this special level 1, the lightning round, which we kind of heard about the first time like 5 minutes before the competition, or like before walking on stage. David Brown walked up to us and said, hey, there will be a lightning round, which will be like 5 questions beforehand, and the first persons who solve this get like additional points. I don't know yet how I like this format, and whether or not I think it should be implemented in future competitions as well. But also you might wanna like tell the competitors a bit beforehand that there will be a lightning round. I mean, David Brown said to all of the competitors, David Brown is like the organizer and also the case author for this specific case, together with Albois and Marcel, who is like one of the main sponsors next to Siemens, I think, of the MECC. yeah, you probably want to tell like the competitors a bit in advance, like at least a day or something like that, that in the final there will be a lightning round, so you can like prepare your set. But of course there's no really threat. What I wanted to mention is that David Brown also said those questions will be pretty easy, and they will be pretty easy, but something that you can definitely tell about this case is that there's so many data tabs that you need like 10 minutes to understand what is on all of those data tabs, and I've not yet really understand what is on what data tab. And yeah, and I've won the competition, so that's pretty okay. I will also like keep the button to see if my answers match right here, and so we can check, because it's not like doing this under competitive circumstances. So let's start with the first question, a question that I read, because how many times did someone watch a show in November? Include a show each time it was watched. It is pretty obvious that this is just account A, not account, but account A of this. But during the competition, I just thought like each show should be included like once, and it is like a count if, and I was like, oh my god, what have I done? And then I realized it was mentioned beforehand that all of these questions are pretty easy, so it's just a count A, and this is just a sum of all of this, questioning how long is each. This question asks for a combination of two formulas. We want to count each of the unique shows, I think. Yeah. This asks for an average, and the next, how many groups allocate costs on a per person base. This is a bit different, because here we need all of the groups, and we want to look up something I should probably have already done, and will be doing in just a minute, because now it's irrelevant. Underscore count just takes how many times each is, more or less by now just a group by with count A, but it is it just takes the unique values, and also it sorts the answers. So the right answers is 25 for this. Then we have done like the lightning round, which can be done faster, of course, if you do not talk about it. I will skip the bonus questions for now and jump right into the levels. So yeah, how many times was an episode watched during November? But before I will ask this, I will just convert all of those to tables and name them watch and data. I know there's a shortcut for this, but I don't use it, at least by now. And this is like many different tables, but there's no problem in just combining all of those into a single table, because the names are always the same. No, they are not. Is this true? Is who-lookup really the plain name and not the platform? Who-lookup is the platform. Yeah, it's right, but just the naming is different. I haven't spotted this until now, that who-lookup is different, but it's just the heading. It would be really mean if this would have been different during the competition, but luckily it's not. So now we can jump into the question about who is watching the show. which is, as mentioned, just a simple count ifs with 2 criterias. It's pretty interesting to see that some of those are just like very small numbers, and some of those are like pretty famous. Most of those times it's like episode 1.1. It's pretty famous, but not from Value Detective. Also, just want to mention, I really like all of the show names. That's pretty hilarious sometimes. Which plan does each person use on the given platform? Therefore, we need the group membership and the plane name. I will add here like a unique step, which is something I've done also during the competition. On the given platform, I think you can do it this way. Alternatively, the thing that I've done for this competition, at least during the competition, is filtering everything and then doing an XLOOKUP across the filtered tab, and not the doing a filter, an XLOOKUP across the filter and not the base value. So now we are at level 4 for the monthly subscription cost. This I will be doing with a filter. Wanna take the groups. I think the plane names are unique, so this is just fine, and we can just XLOOKUP this in plain name and return from planes cost per month, and sum this together. Yeah, I think I've done it during competition the same way, but also during the competition I looked up if all of the plane names are unique. So this looked up, because if this would also like be basic, which is arguably possible, then some of those answers might not work. But luckily all of those names are unique and you do not need the platform in addition to this. So now we wanna get the people that one person is connected to with the subscriptions. So what's the best way of doing this? I will probably going down the data table route to have it a bit simpler. This is just a simple lambda that copies whatever I have here and gives me the value of column G, or with the optional second argument I can also take like G, H and so on, but for this case I just need the value from example 5, which is then also for the future possible to get the data table route. Then I want to filter all of the groups. Want to have the full names. I want the full names of the groups. No, I want the group names. I want all of the group names were the full name. So those are the groups that John Akampora is a member, and then I will take all of this And I will do now an over robot command to like create a lambda to calculate. No, I think it's not necessary to do it right now. Unfortunately, it would have been fun, but I think it's not the best way to do it, because I've tried it this way to like. I mean, maybe I should just tell you what the question is all about, so you can follow, even if you have not done this case before. The question asks you to how many letters, excluding spaces, and the names of all the people a person is connected to the subscription, but you should not count a person that you are connected to more than once. So if you have a look at the group membership and look at John Ankapora, you see he is like member in those five groups, and then you wanna look at those 5 groups and take all of those people. And the way I thought after the competition at like my first try, yeah, you can also like create a lambda that takes a group name and gives you all of the people, the length, and you just add all of those together. But of course you have to take the unique names. So you cannot take like all of those together. You have to like get all of the names, then you can take the unique, and then you can like get the amount of letters, of characters that all of those unique people have together. So what we need is, we need for all of those, we want to fill the groups full name, including groups. Group name is equal to this. So then we have like all of the names that are in this group, and I will just do a to row here. Could also do a transpose and copy this over like down here, and we're doing like a dirty attempt, therefore not like a non-dynamic. I think it is all absolutely possible to do this with a dynamic approach, but I don't wanna like take all of those at the moment. So by now we need to take the length of this, so those people which we have like here with the unique and to call are the unique people. We have also like the calc error in the end, and also like the 0, because we have like a lot of empty things here that we can ignore with this optional argument. So but this is something we can at least doing a bit dynamic. So by now the only thing left is to do the substitute for John Ankapora, for the main person, and sum this together and subtract this, and we get like 241, which is the right answer. And now the only thing really left to do is doing a data table, which is pretty interesting because we started with like question 66. Oh, I think it's because of, yeah, we started with question 6 because of the lightning round. Here a bit of my opinion to the lightning round, but I've mentioned it in the beginning. So by now I have calculated all of this for all of the different people, and we see all of the questions like that. Now up to like my most favorite moment of the finals, which was like when the host Charles Mail, who jumped into as a host because John Ankapora got sick, just sadly sick, just a few days before one day before the competition. So he had like not that much prep time, because especially he wanted also to compete in, so he couldn't have all of these cases beforehand. So he wasn't quite sure that he had like level 6 was like very hard and level 7 was like hard, but that's something I read during the prep time, where we had like a paper sheet where some of the rough instructions were written. So level 7 asks you for what does the given person look at this time based on this schedule. And level 6 asks you for what does this person pay according to the subscription plan and the group membership, where you have like 3 different cost allocation structures. So we wanna also start by now with level 7, the retro TV day. Each platform offers one show at a time from 9 AM to 9 PM, and each person picks a favorite show to watch at a given time. We have like here the basic schedule, and we have the schedule numbered. I think for this given scenario there's no need to use the schedule, because the first thing, if we would just have this, is to use this macro that I think is original by Bo, but I at least have stolen it from Dim, which just fills in here all of the colors, and then I would do the same for the legend and have like the same thing that we have here, but with much higher numbers. So we will just use this schedule right here. Something that's a bit annoying is this thing right here. Those dates calculation is not exactly right, and if you want to do like a filter or XLOOKUP according to this, you will run into some kind of error. So the first thing I want to do is not add like 1 to this, but like 1 divided by 24 divided by 6, so we get like 1 minute higher. So we can take exact match on next larger item to get like, oh no, yeah, because we have like 1232. I mean, we'll try to do it with this right here, and yeah, probably do this to 28. Let's try it out. So let's do we want to try a one seller purchase, or we do a data table? I think data table is the way to go for this, to also like outlay it a bit more for you, so you can understand a bit more. So the first thing we want to do is getting like the time. This entire thing is a new Excel feature that I like a bit, at least because it tells you if you have something not yet calculated, then it's crossed out. But the problem with this thing, why I showed this, is because I have a lot of volatile functions, especially within the younger lambda, with like a lot of indirect in here. So this is always volatile. So if I'm doing a data table, it always just ends up showing everything crossed strike through, which is not the best thing to show to showcase, but it's fine if you get yourself along with it. So the first thing I want to do is is yet again doing something with here and getting like a sequence of 48. So we can get in what sequence it does belong and then filter according to this sequence. The match mode is exact match or next smaller, I think, because it starts at 9 and ends at 9:15. So we have like 46 for 8:15, which is right. I don't know what our problem I had there during the competition. So we want to get this and just include everything. This is equal to this. So now we have the possible shows that are at each time, and here we have the IDs and what shows we have. So the thing we now need to look at is how many times each of the person have watched a show by this series, which is pretty easy to just count if watch show is equal to this. The only thing left for us to have is having here a name. No, why I've done what's the name? Klammer in German. You know, the symbol. I've done it not on purpose, but I've included the full name, and I'll just enter this right here. And now the big question is, does COUNTIF work with this? Sometimes it does, sometimes it does not. So what's left to do for us is to sort this array by sort index 2 descending, and this I've done like at first, but the other thing is if they have watched the same amount of times, so the first show alphabetically should be the first. So I will do this by just sorting this right here, so it automatically gives like VLOOKUP before Wanda, whatever. And yeah, we just need to have this show right here, which matches the example. And the only thing left for us to do for this level 7 is to do a copy and paste over the answers. So right now we have done level 1 to 5 and level 7, but not level 6, which is kind of the hardest level. So we want to have a look at level 6. I'm really looking forward to Dim's video about this case, because he mentioned to me after the competition that there's a pretty easy way to do level 6. The way I tried it is to create a very difficult let to calculate the cost for one group and one person, and then doing this for everything. This is also the way I will try to do it. By now, the way I want to do it is group name filtering by by full name like this. So we have all of the groups, and we will be starting by this. Now we're going to mark this as an input cell. So we have the chart chances. Who? The first question is, what is what is it called during this case? The cost allocation structure for the chart chasers. It's per person. That's pretty easy, because if this is per person, then we just have to calculate the amount of people that are in this group. So we need the full names. We could have also done this by right here by doing account ifs, of course, or something like that. But I like doing like filtering and then counting, or count A in this case, stuff, which is of course not the most effective way, but also I think doing something in Excel eSport is mostly not the most effective way to do something like in real world circumstances. So we see like we have 4 persons, and the only thing left for us to calculate if it is a per person is to get the price. So for this we have to look up this in, I should fully call it different in groups. We have to look up this in group name and return the platform and the plane name, just written together, and then we can look up this in our plans. Platform and plans plane name, and return from plans cost per month. So we have 49, and I will just write like here 49. Group name, persons. But this is just a case if this right here is equal to per person. I've just clicked F9 to enter. If this is not per person, then it's not per person. So the thing is, we have another different opportunity. We have like the way that this can also be is by shows watched. So therefore we need, I think, a second input cell. In this case we have like the name of the person, and we want to group filter, not group. Group is not a function, it's group by. That would be a pretty new function. So we have like full names we need for all of the people that are in this specific group. Just as Oz and Win Hopkins. The main question that has just risen to my mind is this done because you have like watching data that's just on this platform, or is it all about different platforms? I don't know. I mean, each of the platform has like a platform, so it might be the case. I will just try it with everything and then getting again to look at it if it doesn't work. So we have to count how often does, it's question 6, how often does this name appear right here. And sum this thing right here. And yeah, let's do a count ifs, another. And divide this by right here, but we do not want E7, we want to toss the silly from right here. And now we have, if this right here is equals to by shows watched, take this times this, but of course this should belong in the value of false. So for this we have 1658. I don't know if we have to round this. We do not have to round this. It's written like right immediately here, but it's 5.8 and 9, not 5.8. The average prime net plan costs 70. On who look up. Okay, so we have to take just shows watched on who look up, which is fine. But for this case, I wanna have the platform written somewhere right here. Group name, platform. I think for this like last level, I'm pretty late. I might wanna cut this somewhat in half. Platform and who look up, and we wanna write the exact same thing right here again, and then we get 15.79, which is right for this. So the only thing left is for us to do is to model it if it's not by shows watched and not by persons, but by time watched. Oops. This is the case. So this is the case. The people still matter, but I think the only thing left is to enter here duration. Oh, that's interesting. We wanna XLOOKUP this and this together, and this together, and enter the length. So we just need to adjust this formula a small part because we have to include some ifs instead of count ifs, and we have to sum the duration, and here we have the criteria, and this is the same thing right here for like only us. With my mentors, greetings to us at this point in time. The criteria, yeah, the criteria has to be still watch. So we have 23, and in this false case we want to multiply this by this, and we get 16.55, 555, which is equal to 16.56. So we can now generate a lambda statement using array robot, or we cannot do it because there's an error. It might be because countifs has a problem with array robot. I will just pause the video for a moment and we'll be right back. Welcome back, and as you see, it worked. We have like the lambda parameter set up to prepared here, and it worked. I tried what I said before to change like the thing from a countifs to filter, because I thought that this could be the reason why this does not work, because countifs is somewhat volatile if it comes to dynamic arrays. But this was probably the reason, but I don't know yet because I've changed it. It didn't work, and then I just restarted Excel, and now it worked. I might want to. I will talk to the creator, or to Eric, the creator of Array Robot, Eric Ohm, about this problem, and let's look what this was really the reason. And I don't know what the reason is, but for now it worked. And what we get when we use this entire thing here, the lambda robot, just like the generate lambda statement, I have done the define as input parameters. So all of those two are just the input parameters, and everything else and everything I mentioned are like in between steps. And this is calculated, and if I click OK right here, I could have changed something, then I get a pretty big lambda that I can click here, save lambda as, and I can give it a name. I have a naming convention for all of my lambdas, so two underscores equal lambdas that I will just use in this like worksheet, and one underscore is all of the lambdas that I have like base with. So this is like underscore to price. I could have also given it a command name, but for now that's not necessary. So the thing is, what we can do right now is to do this, and okay, it does not work this way, but that's fine, I think. Therefore I would have needed to change a bit in my lambda setup. So you see we have like a lambda setup, and we get like 55. Do not round. The total cost it does want us to round it. There was written that we should not round it, and there was written we have to round it. Spotify gas plan cost 16, individual cost of 9, 16.56. We have this. We have 15.79. We have not 12.105 for the add-on TV array robot plan. because Os is not a member there. Okay, we have the OA robot plan on add-on TV. Costs 49 per people and is shared. Add-on TV. 4 persons. Yeah, this sounds about right. And now I've done everything completely just to show you how you can use the save and edit lambda and not because I haven't like changed this a bit, because the thing I did was to also recreate this formula that was written like here, the final formula, and I couldn't like remember if it was called by person or per person, and it was called per person, and I thought it was called by person, and I didn't looked it up. So this was the error. If we would have done like the previous thing, it would have been correct. So now we have the right order, and we get like 54 is our answer, and I really hope that all of this is now right. I mean, okay, this is a bit more complex for a data table, so it will take a bit longer than usual, but it's done, and we get all of the right answers. That's beautiful, because now we have solved level 1 to level 7. I think it was the first time for me that I've actually solved level 6. So now which up to the bonuses, and then we are like finished for the video. Which non-unlimited plan is the least expensive on a cost per user basis? Divide the plan cost by the maximum number of users and report the plan name without the platform. So all we have to do is do like this. We want the cheapest, so we just write if error a high number, and we can use my x minimum, which is the x minimum is an x lookup combined with minimum formula that I really like, because I use it pretty often, especially for bonus questions, and it also has the component amount of function like xmax, which does the same but for the maximum value, and if you don't use it, it's just a regular max. How many groups violated the allowed user limit in November? Therefore we need to undo this filter right here. I think we have all groups right here, yeah. The thing is, what is the allowed user limit? How can we get this the easiest way? I think we can take this group name, turn from platform and plan name. Have I done this somewhere here? No. But I will do combine this right here and yeah, and x lookup this in plans. It's column 2 and return the allowed users. So I think we can take this unlimited for now. And we now need to count if right here. I'm just assuming that all of the people that are here have watched at least the show. I don't know if this is right. We will see about that in a minute. The question is this greater than this? If this is unlimited, then it's that sounds about right. Yeah, that's wrong use of the minus minus. Reflect 12, I don't know, is this right? Yeah, it's right, okay. So everybody has watched a new episode. So up to bonus question 3, which is not that difficult if you think about it. We want to have like the end date, the possible end date. Then I want to filter this from like the start datum. This is the end datum, end of previous. So we look up the full name into H4 to H4, but lock the H4 and get the same for G4 and G4. And if this is not found, then we get 0. But the additional thing that's really necessary to do is to search last to first, because otherwise all of those right here would be like nothing, or like they always started. Now, only thing left to do is to look if this is greater than this, and take I'm doing like a small the opposite, and sum all of those together and we get 978. The thing about this is there's exactly one value, I don't know where it is, where those two right here are the same. Must be exactly one. Yeah, it's Carlos Barbosa watching Stranger Quids 4-5, and this is right here marked as false, and it's right, but I think it should be the opposite, and I think the answer right here is wrong, and it should be right. So it should be exactly one higher. It should be one lower than this, but it's fine. Which person watched the most total TV time in November? Assume each show is watched fully, even if shows overlap. And by now we are really almost finished. We just need to undo this filter and get the unique full names and sum the duration if the full name is equal to this. And now we want to xmax this, return from right here, Premier Vessels as person. That has watched the most TV is from South Africa, I think. So, and which shows has the most earrings throughout Retro TV? See the schedule tab for definition of airing, and see the Retro TV description in level 7. So the thing that I want right here is I wanna transpose this because I love working downwards more than upwards. So if this here is equal to this, then we want nothing. Otherwise, we want this. And I need to copy it over a bit. If it starts again with 7, are finished. So the thing why I'm doing this is because we see like 12, 12, 12, 12. This is a single earring, and if we just like count everything like right here, then we get the wrong answers. So by now we have like, I think my count should work by now with such an input. It does. And 37, which is green eye, has like the most earrings. No, it has not. Okay, that's interesting. "37 is green eye, that's right." So I copy it all the way down. I in fact have, but I have wrongfully included this 2 times. So it should be 39 and not 37, which is sesame seed again. Pretty hilarious name, and this is right. Just something I want to test, because I don't know if I've done it during competition. Same, or tested it. Would this include the same answer? No, this would record in a different answer. So it's right that you have to do everything this big, which would have been pretty different otherwise. So yeah, this has been my first video, which has been longer than I initially thought, but I think I've talked there a bit, then I had like a few problems. So I hope you liked it. Please consider subscribing, liking the video, and I hope I will see you in the future for a few more videos. And if you have any ideas or any suggestions about myself, please feel free to write in the comments. And yeah, I wanna thank you, and thank you for the case to David Brown, and see you soon.